Hello and welcome.
All
In the engine room today, we've got Max and Chris with Future Theory. How's it going?
All right.
How was your journey over here?
Yeah, just pretty much A15.
Yeah.
I went down. Yeah, it took me
Standard.
down that way.
Yeah. Boring route, innit?
Yeah, an hour. Everything's an hour from Lincoln, isn't it?
Pretty much.
You realise how vast Lincolnshire is, don't you?
Yeah, and all the roads are shit in Lincolnshire as well, aren't there? Everything's shit. So, obviously, Sober Sessions brings you over here today. It's your first time over here playing Sober Sessions.
Yeah.
And first time in Grimsby, innit? Have you played in Grimsby before?
No, we played Grimsby about 9 years ago at the
Yeah, the Matrix.
Matrix.
Yeah.
We supported a band called Electric Priestess.
Oh, right, yeah. I know
Yeah,
Electric Priestess. Yeah, I know a couple of their members.
Yeah, years ago.
The Matrix died a death for a few years, so you probably played there at its demise.
Yeah.
But in the past year or so, they've got bands on again, so it might be worth getting in touch.
Yeah,
They've
it
got
was
a lot
a
of
good
stuff
venue,
that
we
would
played.
kind of suit
Venue's
the
still
genre.
going.
Yeah, upstairs, like
Yeah.
low ceiling. Yeah, it's back up and running. They've got gigs on there regularly, so it's called The Loft now, so if you
Have
reach out to
been
them.
there again recently, or seen anything?
We haven't been in there, but they've got regular gigs on. Yeah, and it'd suit your genre up there.
Nice.
So, ready to talk Future Theory. So, how did Future Theory come about? How did you guys meet? When did you get together?
So like it's be 10 years this year, probably.
10 years?
Yeah, 2015. So started at college in Lincoln. I wanted to do like a shoegaze psychedelic sort of project.
Did you all study in the same course? Or?
No, so me and Rowan, the drummer, were
What was it?
access to music, like level 3 music performance, and it was quite a niche sort of idea for a band that I had.
Yeah.
I sort of no one else knew what I was trying to go for. I sort of convinced people, and then obviously Rowan knew Max outside of college, and that's how we got Max into the band.
What was you doing around the time Future Theory got together?
I was actually doing absolutely nothing. So nothing music-y at all. I went down a weird route. So I'd like finished a acoustic album in college, and then the guy I was doing it with kind of like moved away. Ended up moving to Leeds and London, a few different places with another band he was in, and then it just put me in a bit of a weird position for it at the time, and I kind of like distanced myself a little bit with music for maybe like 2 years or something, and then Rowan had messaged me, and kind of I'd got to know Rowan somehow, and then he had just asked the other boys if they wanted a singer, basically. So
Yeah, because I was singing at the time, but it was more out of like necessity rather than it was kind of like
Yeah, do you not consider yourself a singer?
no. I was writing the songs and playing them, but I wanted someone else to do that so I could just focus on lead guitar stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, let's give it a shot. Yeah, why not? And it worked out like extremely well.
And 10 years later.
Straight away. So.
So am I right in thinking it's Rowan the drummer, innit?
Yeah,
Am I right in
yeah.
thinking he was your original drummer, then left for a bit, and now he's back in?
Yeah,
Am I right in
yeah,
thinking
yeah.
that? Yeah. So what happened when he left? What went on there?
It was weird. It was like 2021. I think a lot of people were in the same boat. Like it was just the band was sort of
It was
fizzling out a
fizzling
bit,
ever so
yeah.
slightly.
Get a bit fed up,
It was
yeah.
actually
The album was recorded, but we hadn't brought. We were still weren't we? We were still mixing and mastering the album because that didn't come out until 2022, and it was just that weird COVID limbo time.
Yeah.
I think thinking back, I know exactly the reason.
Yeah.
It was the bassist, because the bassist had been replaced so many times.
Yeah.
Rowan wasn't really like, he was again a bit sick of like basically having to retrain a bassist all the time. And it kind of got to that
It's
point.
frustrating, isn't it?
I'd put the work in, especially with Jacob, and we got somewhere really decent, and then kind of that spurred Rowan back on to doing it after I got a mate to fill in for a while.
And then we booked a couple of like UK tours as well, and that kind of relit his fire for it.
Yeah. It's easy for the fun to go out of being in a band, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you've got to check it like
And
often.
it's been a
haven't you?
while as well.
Yeah. Well, 10 years is a long time to do anything, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sure.
So, where did the name come from? What's the influence behind the name?
I was really into like I was listening to like a lot of weird music at the time. I was listening like the biggest influence on me for this band was probably, do you know the Verve's first album, Storm in Heaven? Yeah. Like I was into all like really weird atmospheric,
spatial music.
Yeah, and like at the time as well, like U2's album Zeropa as well. I was thinking of like really like futuristic concept albums and things like that. And I was like, oh, Future Theory. I was like, I wanted something like weird and psychedelic, sort of futuristic sounding. So the name Future Theory, I was like, how has no one else? There's a festival called Future Theory, but no band has ever taken that name.
Yeah, it suits your sound. It really does suit your sound.
It'd be quite an obvious, band name that had been taken, but it hadn't been.
So what are some more of your influences when you was starting out as Future Theory?
So many. There's so many in that sort of bracket, isn't there? Do you want to go first, and then I'll?
We were all like into slightly different stuff, but vaguely in the same kind of path. So that kind of made the sound unique, I suppose. That's why FT's FT.
I think it's important in a band, like you've all got different influences and you all bring them together.
Sure. None of us have the exact same, but they all kind of loosely knit together. So I'm like into bands like Brian Jonestown Massacre.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Is that a Verve t-shirt underneath?
Yeah, no, Japanese breakfast.
Long sleeve Verve.
Yeah, bands like Ride, My Bloody Valentine, that kind of thing. Yeah. And then Max is more into like, which I'm into as well. Max is into like more like grunge stuff, aren't you? And
yeah, probably slightly more grunge style.
Like
that's my like
Soundgarden and
Audio Slave. I love Chris Cornell, to be fair.
So would you say your musical direction's changed over time, or have you always stayed sort of true to them influences from the start? Or
they're always like your rough ballpark, but the band's sound has definitely changed.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I mean, it's mainly me and Chris who write a lot of the tunes.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say we ever try and go for a particular genre when we write something. We go with the flow and see how it sounds. Because I mean, I've been so many writing sessions with bands, and they all want to do something particular, and it never works out. To be honest, everyone's got to be a bit loose about it, I think.
Yeah. So can you walk me through a typical sort of
the
writing process?
way we write songs in two, maybe three ways. One of the main ways we write songs is Max will have written it on acoustic already.
Yeah.
And then, a good verse, a good chorus, maybe, and then a melody.
And then I do all the weird texture stuff on top, and like Jacob and Rowan get the rhythm section to it, and then it becomes an FT song.
Taking that a step back, then, when you're sat there writing them verse and them chorus, how do you get inspiration for them writing sessions? Do you sit down and go, "I'm going to write," or do you just pull them out your ass, so to say?
Yeah. Pull them out of one. To be fair, I never sit down and go, I'm going to write it, but I've always had a great head for that, so I've just play some guitar, see how it goes. If I like something, I'm like, I know what I'm doing. Maybe find a good set of chords that work with it, and then I'll play it a few times and maybe pick it up a few times as well, and then decide, I think that's actually decent. Show the band that.
Is it, for me, it's like the stuff that you don't have to work on too much is usually the best stuff. They're just the organic, just like that's why I say it just falls out your ass.
And then sometimes it just falls together.
So that's like one way. I sort of refer to those as more songy sort of songs because they're like singer-songwriter.
Yeah, I've basically written on acoustic.
And then we put the extra layers to it. But then the other way we write songs is if we just like get into like a drone or like a riff sort of bass thing and practice, and then we like stretch it out, and that's like a jam that then turns into a song. That's like the other way we do it. Yeah, sure. So there's kind of like two different. You'll notice that with our songs, you can very much tell if it was a song that was written as an acoustic song originally, or if it was one that came out of the jam.
Yeah. I'll look out for that next time when you play. Because some of your songs do go on and on and on.
I guess recently Jacob's even been starting to do a bit more of a bass riff to start with. We do try and spice it up a bit just to make it interesting as well.
I think you've got to do both though, haven't you? There's times where you've got like you take something to practice and you're like, I've got this, let's work on it. But then there's times where you're just in the practice room and you're just hashing something out, or I think there's space for both, isn't there?
Absolutely.
It'd be boring if there was like, I bet there's bands out there where one person comes and goes, this is the piece of music start to finish.
Bit of a dictatorship.
You know what I mean? That'd be so shit, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it is for the other band. Then it becomes more like you're a session musician for the other people, doesn't it?
So Is there any sort of particular themes or emotions that you try to capture when you're writing your music, or because all your music seems really moody? Do you know?
Well, we were having this discussion the other day. So our stuff is, a lot of people consider it like quite melancholic and emotional and all the rest of it. But the funny thing is, most of our songs are actually in major keys.
Yeah. All right.
But it's because it's like I don't know. It's like Max's tone, his voice, and the textures we use and stuff. It gives that kind of moody
Slightly
ambience.
sad feel, I suppose.
But we use like lots of sus chords and major chords. We don't tend to write in minor keys, which you would think we would. Do you know what I mean? But like,
well, then I've got to ask you all right, mate?
Yeah. No. Sort of a strange thing, but it kind of works.
So what's obviously 10 years is a long time to be together in a band. I bet you've done hundreds of gigs. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, it must be in the hundreds now. Yeah.
So what's the most memorable gig you've done? What's the standout moment?
We did one in Glasgow, the Nice and Sleazy, the venue Nice and Sleazy in Glasgow.
I remember it being on your tour, yeah. But
and it was like it was a Thursday night in Glasgow, and bear in mind, like we were sort of like taking a punt, and we had like 100 people on a Thursday night. I don't know.
Was that the first tour?
Yeah, the first tour. It was just randomly like heaving, and it was like one of the loudest, heaviest gigs that we played, wasn't it? We played proper storming set.
Decent amount of people just coming in. It was, really nice vibe.
Yeah.
But then like some of the Lincoln gigs over the years, like the Liquor ones.
Those have been like the good unexpected ones. The Lincoln ones are obviously the ones we know are going to do well. Because we know everyone, and it's
like gig of the year, people turn out for
when we put it on.
We played at this pub in Sheffield once. Do you remember in the early days? Max was actually in a sling at the time. You'd hurt your arm.
Yeah,
Max was in a sling, like just singing. So we only had one guitar that night. It was in it was like an after party for this lantern festival in Sheffield.
A lantern festival?
Yeah, Chinese lantern festival or something. It's like nearly 10 years ago now. And it was at a pub called the Cremorne or something. And there was like 200-300 people there, wasn't there? 400 people. It's like to this day, it's still the busiest gig we've ever played.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's absolutely heaving. Like it was just such a random gig. Like
And then obviously with gigging, there comes a lot of times where things don't go to plan.
Yeah.
You had any dreadful moments like that when you've been gigging on the road where like you broke down or anything, or things just haven't worked out?
Nothing to that extreme. We've had ones where we've turned up late. I mean, we've both had like pedal issues and patch cable issues, jack cable issues, things like that. Nothing ever
nothing ridiculous.
Nothing ridiculous.
You're lucky then. You're really lucky.
I think there's been about 2 gigs I've ever broke a string in.
Oh, I've broken strings loads.
And there's been 10 years of gigs.
That's
crazy.
You're so lucky. Healer's had we've been together nearly 3 years, and we've had like cars breaking down and all sorts. We've had like emergency rushes to A&E right before a gig when there's like 3 of us at the venue, and
One of the gigs you did with us, you broke down, or was that Sapiens?
Yeah, that was Sapiens.
You broke down.
Yeah. But it's Lincoln's curse. We supported. It is honestly. We supported the View. We supported the View at the Drill in Lincoln last year.
They're quite a big band.
Yeah. From Scotland. Yeah. So we supported them at the Drill, and afterwards I jumped in my car to drive home, broke down on the A46. And then I was like, for fuck's sake. So we played Docksfest the next day, so I just left my car on the A46. So I played Docksfest the next day. On the Sunday, I was like, I best go get my car recovered. So I went to go get it recovered, ended up totaling it. Complete write-off. But yeah, it's just Lincoln, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, it is
bad-looking Lincoln.
So speaking of Lincoln, what's the scene like in Lincoln overall? Because you're from Grantham, aren't you?
Yeah.
But you consider yourself a Lincoln-based band, don't you?
Yeah.
Is the scene good in Lincoln? Is it thriving? Is there a lot going on? Is there a lot of bands coming up? Or?
I mean, I think there is more so again, but it's hard to say.
It depends, like what sort of genre.
I think there's been so many venues that have shot over the time that it's just been crazy, like here, there, and everywhere. As you know, through COVID, all that period, and I think it's only just kind of like regaining some kind of momentum again properly. But there are a couple of good venues there for sure, and coming more so now.
What about Grantham? Has Grantham got a scene?
it's probably more so than ever at the minute, actually. To be fair, yeah, it is getting better, like the best it's been in about 10 years. Yeah.
Same round here. It died a death for years, and then the past 3-4 years, it's just
picking up.
Yeah, massively as well. Everyone's at it at the minute. There's so many bands starting around Grimsby, and there's a Grimsby band called Ever who are smashing it at the minute. They're over in LA recording at the minute.
Oh wow!
Yeah. They put a few videos on TikTok and whatnot, and the views went exponential. And people have picked them up, just 3 young lads, like really nice guys. They deserve it. They're, by all means, they do deserve it. They're good, talented kids, but they're out in LA at the minute recording. So another local band, Revivalry, they're young lads as well. They're absolutely smashing it. They played the main stage at Kendall Calling last year.
Oh wow!
I think it was Kendall Calling. I'm sure it was. Yeah, but
awesome.
But when bands are doing well, it just encourages all the other bands in the area to try and match it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it creates a bit of
so it's a bit of competition as well.
Yeah, healthy competition, isn't it? Yeah. But the scene around here is really supportive. Like tonight, there'll be people from all different bands in the town who will turn out tonight to support it and whatnot. Yeah. So awesome. It's a really good little community.
Looking forward to it.
But what would you say the biggest challenge you face as a band is?
It's just
all being free at the same time.
Yeah. As life gets in the way. You get more on your plate. Yeah.
Do you
getting older? I suppose.
Do you have regimented practices or anything like that?
No, we just get them in when we can get them in.
Do you? Yeah.
Yeah, we've all got loads on.
Oh yeah.
Work and different commitments, haven't we?
Yeah.
Honestly, when we have a gig, we do like 3 practices, and that's it.
Yeah, we tend to cram. We cram practices if we've got gigs or recordings.
Yeah. We practice at least once a week, every week. Nice. Yeah.
Definitely.
There's a place around the corner, Central Hall, beautiful Art Deco building, built in 1936, and we've rented an area of that, so we call it Healer HQ. We've got like our own practice room and our own little office space and little like roof terrace and that. So but it's ace having that room now. I wish we'd done it ages ago.
Need something like that for sure. Because
oh, that's awesome.
It's just so convenient. Even just like my amps in there all set up, my pedals in there, everything's wired up. I just walk in, plug my guitar in. Everything's good to go. So, do you ever have any creative sort of difficulties in the band? Do you ever clash heads on any ideas or anything like that? Or
and occasionally, yeah, of course.
I think we might be having a couple at the minute, actually.
Oh yeah, what about?
Oh, just about it could be about anything. Like I don't know.
Like at the minute, I think we've kind of got like we've done a few songs and that we've released last year and some that we've just recorded. Sort of fit a certain formula, don't they? Yeah. And we feel like it's a good formula for our sound. But then at the same time, we're like,
we don't want to get absolutely like formulaic.
Yeah, we don't want to get locked into something like that. But at the same time, if it works, it works. Do you know what I mean? We're kind of like having a debate about that, a healthy debate, not like
just test it.
Yeah. Occasionally, obviously, you bring ideas in, and sometimes one person might not like it, and they're just like, no, not at all.
It's hard work, though, isn't it? Like, it's hard work getting 2 people to agree on one thing. Like, never mind 4 people.
Yeah, 100%.
Like in Healer, sometimes the stuff we squabble about. Like, if you took a step back, like, this is meaningless. Yeah. We're arguing about nothing here.
Definitely.
So what's next for Future Theory? What's your plans moving forward?
So we've just been heavily recording. Yeah. We've got 3 tunes now recorded, which we're really happy with. Best recordings, definitely.
Doing those at Electric Bear in Mansfield. 3 songs there in their epic.
Who's the engineer who you used?
Simon.
Producer, Simon.
Yeah. Simon from Electric Bear. And Jared did one song as well, but yeah, Simon. The last sort of 3 songs we've done with those guys are like head and shoulders the best quality we've ever done.
Yeah. Both good, and what we've noticed is really just the amount the drums make a difference in a recording. It's like so mad. Like you can do good guitars at home, but the drums are the really hard bit, really, to capture. Yeah. And it makes the recording just sound so much better.
We've recorded in so many different places over the years, and we've recorded with like engineers that have supposedly got a good pedigree, but they might be a bit past it, or we've tried to do things on the cheap. We've done it all sorts of ways over the years, but these last couple of songs, we're the happiest we've ever
we
been.
like the
And
process,
they get our sound,
everything.
don't they?
Yeah.
Just one track a day. Boom, boom, boom.
It's good that you've found somewhere.
Yeah.
So we're struggling at the minute.
Really happy with that.
We've got about 20 different email threads at the minute with different studios trying to get prices and availability and find out who they've been recording with and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's hard work, mate. It's hard work. It's like you said, trying to get a time when everyone's free to do it. But
well, these last ones we've literally recorded in an 8-hour session, and then they're mixed and mastered, in the weeks after that.
Yeah.
We've done it other times where we'll do all the drums at once, then we'll do all the guitars together in one block. But we're finding at the minute just like doing it song by
click
song.
Track and without click track. We tried both as well.
Yeah, so these are with click track and they're just so polished and tight.
Yeah.
But we're literally doing it like track by track. We're not like segmenting the different instruments.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it's easy. It's so easy. Like we're done usually before the time runs out.
Yeah.
Like they're going that.
Well, yeah, just put a ghost track down in it and then to a click and then just smash through it, innit?
Yeah.
So I love the studio. I can't wait to get in the studio. There's a place near Alford and Louth way on called Chapel Studios. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
So we've booked 5 days there in April, but we're hoping we can get something in before then as well. But it'd be nice.
Are you gonna like stay down there or just go back?
Yeah, it's residential. Yeah. So we'll have the whole studio 5 days. Yeah, we'll be doing like 10, 12-hour days and then staying there. Yeah. And it's only Louth, so if I need to nip home for out or whatever, I can pop home. So
nice and close.
Only half an hour or so away. So if you had the opportunity to collaborate with any other artist, who would it be?
Oh, that's a really good question.
That's a good question. I mean, I really like the Aussie rock scene at the minute, so I feel like it would have to be one of those bands that are quite, because I just think it suits us quite a lot. I think if we somehow had a tie with
like Tame Impala or
Tame Impala or Psychedelic Punk, Crumpets, who else you got? I'm really bad with names. Really bad at remembering
Ocean
names.
Alley.
Ocean Alley. There's even more.
I'd say probably like Tom York from Radiohead or something like that. Like just someone that can do any genre, play any instrument, or like Damon Albarn, someone like that.
Yeah. Multi-instrumentalist.
I'm more thinking a bit more up and coming and not quite as big as that. If it was literally anyone.
I didn't set any parameters, mate.
Nirvana. Go back.
Bring it back alive.
Have you seen they're on about doing? I say Nirvana, but it'll never be the same. But they're on about doing something with Post Malone. As the singer, the guitarist. Well, they did. He did some sort of session with Travis Barker during lockdown. I don't know if you saw that. Did you see it? Type it in on YouTube. Just type in Post Malone Nirvana.
Yeah.
And they're in like Post Malone's living room or something. It's just a 4-piece band, and they're just. I can't remember if they play an album all the way through or not. Can't remember, but it's so good. Post Malone pulls it off so well.
Oh, wicked.
And I'm not a Post Malone fan,
I've seen him do Nirvana
shite,
before.
but he seems like a really good person in his music. Yeah, but check it out. It's really good. Can't believe I'm plugging Post Malone.
I think I'm not like a fanboy, but I think he's all right. People have shown me quite a bit, and
he's talented.
I definitely don't think it's bad. Yeah. He's good.
So where do you see?
Check that out.
Yeah, check it out, mate. Yeah. So where do you see Future Theory in sort of 5 years' time?
Not a clue, mate. Just enjoying making music.
Do you reckon you'll still be going?
Who knows?
It'll be 15 years by then.
Probably.
15 years by then, mate.
That's crazy.
I don't know. We just get.
I think with the right sound and just finding the right people, we could easily have the potential to get noticed. It's just It's just being in the right place at the right time. You can't. I can't say we will or we won't make it.
The thing is, we've had different periods over the years. We've had points where like the band's been like booming, and like Fender picked up one of our songs before, and we've had fans in like America and Australia, and the band goes in like peaks and troughs. We've had like absolute like wasteland periods where there's just like no one listening to us at all, and then we'll just suddenly like put something out and there'll be a buzz again. I don't know, we're just that kind of band, aren't we?
Yeah, you've got to be consistent, and you've got to keep on top of your releases.
Feast and famine with us, isn't it? That's the problem.
Now we found that now we have got the 4 of us as well. I think we are trying to work towards just being a bit more constant with the releases as well and stuff, because I found that quite hard with the album taking so long in between and then a while after and stuff. Do you know what I mean? We just want to like keep it going, really.
Yeah.
So there's not so much as the off time. We don't always have the time to do like constant gigs. That's the only issue, but it's not really an issue either, as long as we set the right gigs up. Do you know what I mean? So it's I
think we'll do the band as long as we enjoy making music.
Yeah, that's the most important thing.
From producing
Definitely.
it, you know.
Yeah, the second it's not enjoyable, you've got to check it on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'll expire at one point. You know, I can't see when, but I like the idea of like last night I went to Doc's Academy and watched a Led Zeppelin tribute band.
Nice.
They was having the time of their life.
I've said
and
this
I bet they
before.
made some all right money.
I've said this before, like in the future, like just do a cover band for fun or a tribute band.
Well, we'll stay in touch and start like a Credence tribute band or something. Do you know what I mean? Right, lads, short one today because we've got to get set up for tonight's gig, but I've enjoyed it. Thanks for coming on. Before we close it out, I'd just like to ask, who should I be listening to?
Future Theory.
Who else? Come on.
Check out my other band, The Collective.
The Collective, yeah.
Check out Healer.
I started an acoustic band as well with a friend again. We used to be called Read and Louther back in the day, and that was actually who I did that acoustic album with back in the day, and we've re-met like 10 years
full
past,
circle,
which is ridiculous.
I mean, some other bands I admire that I know that we've played with and stuff before, like Death of the High Street, Soper.
Yeah,
they're good bands. Anyone else?
Yeah, that we've really enjoyed playing with those, and we any of the Aussie scene bands, I'd say. To be honest.
Right, nice one, boys. Let's get set up.
Yeah, sweet.
Brill.